Hey folks, Marty Nowicki with Impact Snap. Today's video is we are going to learn how to create lag. Why is it important? Do you need more of it? And then how to let it all out so that we're not just pulling the handle. So let's start with what exactly is lag. Think of lag, for lack of a better term, lag is simply the angle formed between the lead arm and the shaft. That angle, okay? If for whatever, and we do want that in our golf swing for the sole standpoint that when I get near the ball, if I've created a straight line prior to the ball, then I better have a lot of brute strength to get that ball to go anywhere. So the whole purpose of lag is to create a load. We would see that in baseball, we would see that in lacrosse, and golf would be no different. We want you to be able to hit the ball as far as possible, so we need to create an angle between the lead arm and the shaft. As I'm swinging down, a couple checkpoints for you if you videotape your swings at home. Basically, the second time the shaft is parallel to the ground, meaning here it's parallel to the ground in the backswing, now it's parallel to the ground in the downswing, shaft is parallel to the ground, my hand should be opposite my trail leg at that moment in time. I should also have started my turn. That way if I continue to turn, my hands and arms will be past the ball, or I'll form my basic lowercase letter Y geometry. Where people go wrong trying to create lag is really three ways. First, their hands start to move around on the club, meaning the wrist should be loose enough to create these angles without your fingers or your palm sliding around on the club. We would never, ever want to see that. Say part two, where people go wrong trying to create lag, they might create it, but they hold on to it and never release it, okay? The whole point of creating any amount of lag is to release this into a straight line. And ideally, that place would be just after impact into a straight line. Part three, where people go wrong with trying to create lag, if that is a square club face, when they return it, the club face, because I've created these angles, tends to open up. So you have to pay attention to the edge so that if you return with your hands ahead, that the edge is actually vertical. We don't want to see you return it back laid open. So have an awareness of what the edge looks like as you're going through the ball. Easiest way to practice this would be waist high to waist high swings, having an awareness that the club is about in line with my hands going back. It'll drop slightly behind my hands starting down. I will then turn. Once my hands get about to my trail leg, or another way of thinking about it, once the butt end of the golf club gets about to where the golf ball is for all balls on the ground, that's when I can take this lead wrist angle and start to uncock it. That'll get my hands far enough past the ball so that I can catch the ground after the point of the ball. Once my hands get there, I continue to turn my body. I'm also starting to uncock that, have an awareness for what that club face looks like as you're approaching. If I practiced it in slow motion, which is a great way to practice, parallel to the ground, turn. The club face is actually looking at the ball before I ever hit it. The golf club won't catch up to your arm until the hands get about to waist high. That's when we would see a nice straight line from the lead shoulder down to the end of the club. The whole beauty of the impact snap, which my friend Kelvin Mayahira invented and designed and then we just made it better, is it creates a load. So now you can see that angle. And then we want to shoot that angle out so that this yellow ball hits the bottom of the trail forearm. There's my load. Shoot it out. Ball hits the forearm. I wouldn't want to hear the weight back here because now I'm in that straight line condition and I'm forcing myself to basically have a lot of brute strength just to put any amount of energy into the ball. There's my load. Now my hands or the butt end of the unit is where the ball is. And in a very short period of time, the wrists will uncock, flex, and supinate so that ball hits the inside part of my trail forearm, thus ensuring that all of my alignments are correct, stable, and repeatable. The beauty of the product is, boy, I can start training at a higher speed. All the conditions that I'm going to want going right through impact. Lag is important if you want any amount of energy going into the ball. If I was going to throw this golf club, I'm going to wind up, I'm going to start turning, and the club is trailing my lead arm by quite a bit. When I turn and then release into a straight line or let go of the golf club to let it go flying, if I never had this angle created, well, then that would leave me to, or force me to really just have some brute strength. I better be able to turn really fast, because if my wrists and my trail elbow aren't loading up, then that's going to take away from a lot of your energy. So we need certain things to create a load so that you have energy. Just note that the butt end of the golf club, once it reaches the golf ball, that's when the wrists move into that uncocking and flex position so that we can compress a golf ball. So when don't I want lag? This is important because if I'm greenside hitting my standard chip shot, I don't want this wrist to load at all. To be honest, the trail arm is what's creating the energy. But because I'm near the green, I don't need that much power. So pay attention when you're either greenside or say even within 50 yards, I don't want to see any of my students create a lot of wrist angles until they have to go about 80 or 90 yards, or unless they're performing a specialty shot like a lob shot or a high soft bunker shot. So know when to use your wrists, when to create lag. We want to create lag when we need power or we have a specialty shot. Greenside or my stock wedges, I'm not creating any lag, and I just want to maintain that nice straight line condition throughout. For Impact Snap, I'm Marty Nowicki. I hope this video helped. Please like this video, share this video, leave your comments down below. That helps us to create more content for you. For Impact Snap, I'm Marty Nowicki. Thanks for watching.